Sagittarius Moon, and welcome to my first video in my first series on YouTube, which will focus on tarot readings for the different moon signs around the energies of the full and the new moon. So it'll be bi-monthly, sort of. I'll be releasing just before each full moon and each new moon, and I'll focus on what kinds of ritual actions will be powerful for you specifically around these times. And Sagittarius Moon sign holders, as we approach the full moon in Aquarius on the 3rd of August. And of course the fire comes out, because you are fiery moons. And you know, sometimes it might be a little bit strange, because you know, as a moon is about our internal life and our internal transformative energies, our feminine aspect, our darker aspects. And of course Sagittarius is this expansive, Jupiter-ruled, extroverted, magical sign, where the moon is very internal. It's our internal natures, it's our deeper natures. And so there's this sort of disagreement in some ways between your internal self wanting to just be extroverted, and obviously depending what sun and rising you are, this can interact in different ways. But anyway, what's coming through first is some air and some fire. So these this is a deck that I made myself, and these two pots represent air and fire. And so I really do get the sense that it would be very powerful for you to do some kind of ritual this full moon, working with these two elements of air and fire. And I really feel like, you know, the fire can be brought in so many ways. You can light candles and do breath work. You can make a fire, if this is possible, outside or in your fireplace. Perhaps you can burn some intentions for what you want to manifest and create. Maybe you want to burn things you're going to let go of. There are all sorts of symbolic things you can do with the fire, but I really am getting this sense that breath work would be incredibly powerful for you to do this full moon in Aquarius. And of course Aquarius is also that air sign, and so perhaps this breath work is going to help you just link in with that air energy. And Aquarius is also linked with that idea of humanitarianism, and of course Sagittarius is also quite humanitarian in many ways. So connecting in with those collective energies and recognizing the responsibilities that you have in terms of you're a part of that collective. And so you need to be that change that you wish to see in the collective. That is your point of access. That is your space where you can transform the collective. So whatever self-healing work you are doing at this time is also significant to the collective. And of course this doesn't mean only do the self-work and don't be doing any form of activism. No, that's not what I'm saying at all. Yes, you need to be doing the activism work, you need to be doing the protesting work, whatever that means to you. Maybe it just means your business is working towards some greater goal, and that for you is your activism work. That's also fine. We all have our roles to play in this. Not every single person can be out on the street protesting in that way, and that's also okay. We can be activists all in different ways, but it is very important for you, especially as a Sagittarius moon, to be involved in some form of activist work, in some form of work that you feel is bringing the world into a better space. And please don't ever underestimate how important every small act is. For example, if you are raising money to provide food for even just 3 children, and of course perhaps you're doing a lot more than just that, this makes such an incredibly huge difference. You know, nutrition for one child can alter their entire lives, and that is no small feat at all. This is important work. So in terms of breath work, perhaps you could look for, firstly I'd like to recommend an app called Insight Timer, which is an app I use for meditation. They are really amazing, and there's so much free material on there. It's not going to cost you anything. So if you have the ability, obviously, to watch YouTube videos, you can definitely download this app. And there is some very powerful breath work on there. Of course, we can turn towards yoga. Yoga, yeah, there's many breathing techniques in yoga that will be very powerful, but I'm really going to leave the choices and the freedom up to you. Not every single type of breath work is going to be powerful for all of you. But yes, with that fieriness of your moon sign in Sagittarius, a lion's breath may be very powerful and cleansing for you at this time. Alright, so I'm going to also just pull a couple of my tarot cards. This is the Crystal Visions tarot deck that I'm using, which is my favorite tarot deck. Oh, that's the one that's wanting to come out. Oh, and of course we're getting the Queen of Wands, the Emperor card. Oh. Alright, well, I'm not going to spend too much time on those last few that jumped out. Alright, so the very powerful energies of the Emperor and the Queen of Wands. Of course, Wands being that fiery energy, creativity, drive, passion. So these are the kinds of focus that you should be having around this full moon. Sorry, I nearly said new moon. And of course, with that Sagittarius energy, it is so incredibly important for you to constantly be focusing upon your creativity, your drive, your passion. But I don't want you to get too lost in creative, and that fieriness all the time. And this is really why it's coming with the Emperor, because the Emperor, if you see, he's standing on with both feet on the ground. Both feet on the ground. He is stable and he is balanced, and this can sometimes be the thing that slips up, or that the Sagittarius can slip up on, is that grounded energy. So just remember that while it's important for you to be creating and dreaming and making and going and making things happen, it's also important to just take that moment to ground, check in with what it is you're doing. What is the focus? Is this me just creating because I got an idea, or what is this idea aligned with? Is it pushing me towards my final goals? Have I taken that moment to just really consider everything, or am I just running with it because I got the idea? So don't just let your ideas run away with you. And this is not that I want to dampen your creativity, your drive, your passion. It's one of the best qualities about you. It's a very transformative thing. But just constantly check in. Is this aligned with the greater vision I have, not only for my own life, but for the world around me and the kinds of societies I want to be a part of creating? Because we all have that responsibility. The Emperor is wise, strong, stable. The Emperor has a vision. The Emperor knows the vision. The Emperor knows the actions that need to take place in order to make this vision happen. But the Emperor is also wise enough to bow down to whatever the present moment unfolds, because the Emperor knows that they are guided by Spirit. And that Spirit has better vision. Spirit can see much further, and Spirit knows what things to bring to us in order to bring us the best lessons. And so it is our job to constantly check in. Why is this unfolding right now? What can I do with this energy that is presented to me right now? And are my actions and plans and the things I'm running with, are they aligned with what I want to see? And this next 4 cards, you got 4 cards here, I really want to try and summarize quite quickly, because they're definitely, and I get the sense this is something unfolding sort of after the full moon for you. There is a bit of sadness, there is a bit of heartache, and there is a sense of needing to mourn the loss of something. And I do want you to allow yourself the space to mourn and the space to feel through these emotions. Honor how you're feeling, so important. But I also want you to remember that you must allow a time to come where you go, okay, now it's time for me to let go and move forward. Because when you're constantly focusing on the things that you've lost, you are unable to see the new opportunities that are opening. And so I want you to remember what I said about spirit bringing you what you need in the present moment in order for you to grow or to actually get to your vision quicker. And sometimes spirit has to go, actually this is in your way, this is in your way, that's in your way. Let's just clear the path here so that we can get directly to what it is you're wanting to create. So sometimes what seems incredibly traumatic is a blessing. And I mean this in terms of the difficult period we're going through in 2020 as a purging process, as a cleansing process, as a reawakening process. But I also mean it on a personal level. I do get the sense that there is some kind of personal loss coming for you. But it is going to result in something new, something fresh, something healing. And I really am getting the sense that it's a new relationship with yourself, but possibly a new relationship with someone else. So perhaps the thing you lose that's connected with this heartache is to do with someone close to you. Maybe it's a romantic relationship. Maybe it's a business partner that you need to cut ties with. But there is a sense of heartache involved. There is a sense of needing to rest and mourn and let go and move through your emotions. Please honor these emotions. Please don't try push them aside and carry on. Because this will manifest as bitterness. Allow yourself that time, allow yourself that rest, allow yourself the tears, and go for a swim if you can, or have a ritual shower where you just cleanse yourself of old energies, and then, yes, do your fire rituals. Sagittarius Moon, I really think this is a powerful time for you, and I wish you the best with all of these transformations. With love.